The big day. Spent some time with my mom already, helping with the wedding. Multiple campgrounds. We're seeing them popping up everywhere. Take a little spin through there just to kind of give you...
Pick up the cupcakes before 2.
We're excited.
Yeah, we are.
Never thought I'd be so far from...
I'm going to the right, all the way to Des Moines.
I had this thing buttoned up, got off the roof.
For 7 years, I was their senior manufacturing engineer.
Big day. Big day, little sis.
Hi. Have you seen Ernie? We have a friend deer out here. His name's Ernie. You seen him? No?
It's so nice to have the hot water back. This place was pretty much filled up for Mother's Day weekend, and a lot of people left, and then a couple more people came. A lot of wildlife, including this little wild one right here. She loves to drive. So we're gonna go see her family. Her family is in our hometown where we grew up in. Her brother from Colorado, her sister and her family from Milwaukee, and her mother and her sister that lives in town. And they're going to be here for a whole week. We're going to get together with them. Spent some time with my mom already, helping with the wedding, and try to get some more time in between with her as well. Hey there, Speedy.
Who are you calling Speedy?
Nobody.
Are you ready to go?
I am ready to go. So what's the plan today? We don't know yet.
No, just visit.
Chill out.
Yeah, my family still. And eat.
We're kind of missing out on a lot of the wildlife out here because we don't get back until dark. If you're going to come here to the Honey Creek State Park area or anywhere around the Lake Rafting area, especially the Honey Creek State Park area, deer are everywhere. Be very careful. People hit deer here quite a bit in the evenings. But we do enjoy all the wildlife. We see all kinds of different species of birds here.
Orioles, saw Orioles.
This time of the year, the Orioles have come back here in May. We have your cardinals. Cardinals, of course, love the woodsy areas. Bluebirds, your all kinds of different birds. But deer are in abundance, and
turkeys.
They're not very skittish. We see turkeys about every single day.
Yeah.
Saw one the other day that had a beard. I swear it was about a foot long at least. Big old turkeys. Seems a little different here from when we were growing up. I mean, everything kind of looks the same. There's a lot more building going on here than there has for, geez,
many years.
Over 40 years. This place started to take off in the 70s, and then it just came to a halt. And ever since then, there hasn't been much of any building going on. In recent years, they've built Honey Creek Resort and a hotel and a water park and a fun place. You can rent cabins, really nice golf course.
Never thought I'd be so far from home.
It took a few years, and then it started doing well. And much better, I should say. And now there's starting to be a lot of building going on, and they're building a bunch of campgrounds, which we just noticed this trip coming here. It wasn't like this last year. And multiple campgrounds. We're seeing them popping up everywhere that are, you know, they're not the DNR or the Corps Engineers, nothing like that. Not state-owned. They're private property. So if somebody knows something, will there be a boom? not a tire boat.
Life changes as we know it.
So if you do come here to southern Iowa, and if you're going to come here to camp, you might want to go into Centerville, about 20 minutes away. Get you a tenderloin at Raymond's Dairy Bar.
Dairy Queen.
Yeah. Dairy Queen?
Cream.
Dairy Cream. But it's Raymond's. RAYMOND''S.
Sentimental to me. It was my very first job growing up. Wouldn't you know? I worked at, serving sweets and things.
It's in her blood. Yep, she used to, back in the high school days, I used to go there and ask this cute little blonde to make me a peanut butter hot fudge shake. And it's just not the same anymore.
Never thought our love could grow so cold.
Speaking of Honey Creek Resort, we're going to take a little spin through there just to kind of give you a little idea of what at least the outside looks like. So if you were on Highway 5 heading south towards Lake Rathbun, towards Centerville, you would take a right, head west on J18.
Never thought I'd be so far from home. Never thought our love could grow so cold. Never thought we had to run through burning fire. Never thought I had to miss you and I. Oh, I'm counting roadblocks. You're counting crossroads. They were always there, but we never made it home.
They do have a campground over in this area too, and it looks like full hookups. But I remember we checked another time and they were kind of pricey, which you can just go on down the road and stay much cheaper. Given that it is a Wednesday and not a weekend, because that's where this place gets most of its business around the lake, holidays and weekends, still, as you can see, campground's empty. They'd lower their price, they'd probably get a lot more people camping here. Got your mom's birthday card?
It's in my purse. We have to go to pick up the cupcakes before 2.
That's right. Yeah. What time is it?
11:30.
All right. Driving again, Speedy?
Yes.
Driving down the road that I grew up on once again. It's when I pass your door, the memories come back again. Pictures of us flooding back just like a wave. Makes me wonder what happened, what you're up to today.
Talk about luck.
I know.
Just started raining just as we got everything packed, hooked up and got in the truck. Just getting ready to take off and it starts to rain. We've been fortunate.
We have.
Now we're leaving our old hometown area by Lake Rathbun at the Honey Creek State Park, and we're going to head to Des Moines, Central Iowa, and visit our son and his family. Get some grandkid time. Yay.
Yay!
We're excited.
Yeah, we are.
We've got a family reunion to do. We've got a lot going on.
Lots of family time. Very fortunate to have, a whole 2 weeks down here.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
a whole week with my family and
Celebrate your mom's 89th birthday.
right, Mother's Day, my birthday, her birthday. It was great.
Just thought of something.
What?
It's going to be your first time pulling in the rain.
Yeah.
Gonna be nervous?
Well, as long as it doesn't rain where I can't see.
We're going to be in Altoona at the Adventureland Resort and Campground. It's an amusement park and it has a resort campground there. And
It's right next to the casino, too.
Right next to Prairie Meadows Casino. You may have remembered from the last time we were there.
Am I going? Oh, I'm going.
You're going to Des Moines.
I'm going to the right, all the way to Des Moines.
It's a pretty fifth wheel over here, Nitro XLR. Nice paint job.
Never thought I'd be so far from home. Never thought our love could grow so cold. Never thought we had to run through burning fire. Never thought I had to miss you and I. Life changes as we know it. You do what you can, you just get through it. It's a mystery how people can get by on as little love as you and I. Never thought I'd be so far from home.
Have a safe trip.
All right, Mom, thanks. And
You might sound good.
yeah.
Love you.
Love you, and
Love you.
talk to you soon. You talk to Heather, tell her we'll try to get a hold of her sometime, and we'll try to arrange something for us all. Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay.
I tried to stay until I was growing. As time changes people, we both know this. It's a change of season when the tide comes rolling in, and you realize there's nothing there to begin. Never thought I'd be so far from home. Never thought our love could grow so cold. Never thought we had to run through burning fire. Never thought I had to miss you and I. Oh, I'm counting roadblocks, you're counting crossroads. They were always there, but we never made a choice. It was never on the map, on this crooked road called life. It was never meant to be you and I.
Rain kind of held off for us while I got hooked up, too. It was barely sprinkling. But yeah, we're all hooked up, and I think we're going to go make a grocery run. It's been a while since we've been able to get groceries with family for the last pretty much 2 weeks, and doing a lot of eating out and just enjoying time with family. Got a lot of groceries to get. And Costco closes at 6:30. That was supposed to be a hint. Not sure if she heard. Did she hear?
Yep.
She heard.
Never thought we had to run through burning fire. Never thought I had to miss you and I. Never thought I'd be so far from home. Never thought our love could grow so cold.
One of the things, besides coming back to see family, that we really enjoy about coming back to the Des Moines and the Iowa area is getting to do some of the things that we really used to enjoy to do in the area. So that's what we're going to do today, and kind of show you around. have an Airstream, you got to make sure that you're really careful getting on the roof, because they're not like your other RVs. You got to watch where you step or you dent the roof. The roofs are also made out of aluminum. Like your rivets going across there, you got to try to step on those areas. Like that seam right there, or you can easily dent it. Yesterday, I decided to get on the roof and install the SoftStarts. Eric and Tammy from Techno RV sent us 2 SoftStarts a while back, and I'm just now getting the chance to get up on the roof and get this done. I found on SoftStarts website, they had directions for Dometic Penguin and the Penguin with heat pump, which we have the heat pumps on both of ours. You got to be really careful, because even though that said the Penguin with heat pump, it's not our model. If you go to softstartrv.com/support, there's a form you fill out, you start a ticket, and I was doing this yesterday on Memorial Day. Literally, within 30 minutes, somebody gave me a call back on Memorial Day. I was shocked. I didn't expect that. I had this thing buttoned up, got off the roof, and was going to wait until they opened today. Don't think that the model that they have on their website is the instructions for you, because like on ours, for instance, I got through step 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then 5 got me scratching my head because it didn't make any sense whatsoever. Even though we have the Dometic Penguin, there's a lot of different variations out there. Even though they're the same model number, they've been made a little differently. I'm going to call Danny at SoftStart RV so that he can help explain this to you, and that way it makes you feel better too. It's coming straight from the source. So I got that other second SoftStart installed after you had told me what needed to be done. I didn't really want to show the entire install, and the reason why is because even though people might have the same, Dometic Penguin with heat pumps like I do, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be put together the same way. So I was wondering maybe if you could help explain that.
Sure.
That way they know how important it is before they go any further with the install.
Believe it or not, since I had you, I've had 5 other people that had a Penguin unit, and each one of them had different schematics.
Really?
Yes, each one of them was a different schematic, and it's because depending on what year it's made, the schematic number's different, and they've changed something.
Yeah.
One guy got a little on the upset side, and I'm going, dude, I didn't do it. Dometic does it.
What do you think the reason for that? I mean, now these are...
I know the exact reason why they do that. It's because the electrical engineer has to justify his existence. Actually, they tell you, you've got to justify your existence for the next 5 years. So each year you've got to come up with something in order to say, hey, I did this, look, I changed this, and this will enable you to increase how much your unit cost. So they'll change wire, they change the shape of a copper tube. Instead of it going to the right, it can go to the left. You can put an up or a down or a twist in. The units are identical, but you look at the tubes and you go, well, they're not. Got to be different because they don't look the same.
So you used to work for Dometic too then, huh?
I for 7 years, I was their senior manufacturing engineer over all their AC lines. Tubes are measured. You've got to have a certain length of tube between the compressor and the coil. But they would want, like I said, they want to change shape of a tube. So I actually had a CNC machine that I could program it to bend tubes a different way, that same length, but bend it different directions. So that's how I know exactly why that's done.
I looked at this, at the directions, the schematics, and it's very simple. Most people could do it, if they're a little bit handy. And steps 1, 2, 3, they were just very self-explanatory. And I don't want anybody to...
It's the last one that kills everybody. The last step kills everybody. And well, there's relays. Okay, one of them, it call it a K1. Another one calls it a K2. Another one, it's a K5. It's the same relay. They're just calling it a different number.
Yeah.
But it's all over the board. you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it just...
Yeah, well, with that being said, I don't want people to think that, okay, it's just a relay, just follow the directions, because in our case, the blue wire was supposed to go to a relay, and it went down into the cabin. It didn't even go to the relay up above. There was 2 white wires on that relay, which is why I was like, okay, something isn't right here, because the blue wire doesn't even go to that relay.
That's exactly right. They had switched that. Actually, in your model number, that model number tells you many things. It tells you the color of your shroud that you're going to do. It's going to tell you if you've put a heat pump in, a heat strip in.
Danny was also telling me that they had an 81-year-old guy that watched a YouTube video. On this YouTube video, apparently, I don't know if they showed taking all the wires off, or he just decided to take all the wires off his AC unit and, you know, the capacitor and all that, and he just decided to start that way. You got to make sure you just follow each step. He's got a real mess. He's got his AC unit all messed up, and Danny and I think a couple guys from SoftStarts really trying to help get his unit back to normal, at least. So a little bit about Danny. Danny does not actually work for SoftStart. What happened was, when he used to work for Dometic, a guy from upper management at the time now works for SoftStart, and they were having this issue that we were having where some of the schematics didn't make sense because of all the changes that Dometic made. And the guy knew that Danny had a lot of knowledge, so he had reached out to contact Danny to see if Danny would help. So that's how Danny got into the picture and why he's helping. Danny's an awesome guy. You can really tell his enthusiasm to want to help. I mean, he really truly wants to help. In fact, he wanted me to put his phone number on this video, and I told him I kind of feel uncomfortable. I really don't want his phone just blowing up. I thought it would be best just to have an email. I mean, it's his choice, but I asked if we could just put his email. So I'm going to put his email down here below. You can either go to softstartrv.com/support and fill out a support ticket and have somebody from SoftStart contact you and see if they can help you, or you can contact Danny through this email address down below. Now, when I did the install on mine, again, there was only 6 really simple steps. It was just that 5th step that didn't coincide with what we had. There was no blue wire that went to the relay. It's a little confusing. I didn't want to guess, so that's why I contacted and filled out one of those support tickets, and the guy from SoftStart contacted me. Like I said, 30 minutes later, he was confused. He said it was probably best that I talk to Danny, and that's how I got a hold of Danny. I thought about showing the install on our Dometic Penguin, and it might have helped somebody if they were watching the video and they could see that it's the exact same wiring that they had. But at the same time, I knew that there is going to be at least one person that it may confuse, you know, like this 81-year-old guy. You know, there was something that confused him, and that's okay. I thought it's probably best that I just shoot this video talking to Danny, let him explain this thing about these Dometics and all the changes that they make, so that you're not kind of rushing through and hurrying and maybe saying, oh, this must be the wire that they're talking about, and then have a mess on your hands. So instead of this being an install video, I figured I would do that, and hopefully that'll help more people than just showing my installs. As I said, there's many Dometic Penguins, and they're not all the same. So again, you can either fill out that support ticket and somebody from SoftStart will give you a call back, or you can email Danny below. And that's the route I would go, just to be sure, if you have a Dometic. Now, if you have another model, I would just go ahead and fill out that support ticket. It's a beautiful day out. It's going to get pretty hot. We're still in Des Moines, Iowa. We're at Adventureland RV Resort here, campground, and we've got the amusement park over here. We've got Prairie Meadows Casino and Racetrack over here. We had a great time with our granddaughter this past weekend. We did quite a bit with her. Went to the horse races over here. She had never been to those horse races, so that was a lot of fun. Been watching her softball games. This has been really much needed. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We'd really appreciate that. Other than that, we'll catch you next week.
Let's call it a day.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click that little bell, and hit that thumbs up. See you next week.